Moving right along, everybody. Welcome back to the Jam on the U. Time for another Jam session. Jahmal Cole from my block, my hood, my city is joining us. He's going to hang around for this one. You ready to do it?
I'm ready, man.
So you know how this goes, right?
Not really.
Okay. Perfect.
You will soon enough.
Along for the ride.
One rule of Jam sessions, there are no rules. So let's get right into it. I want to talk about the new show on Showtime. It's getting a lot of buzz, and we especially love it here because it's about Chicago. Yeah. It's on Showtime. It's a Lena Waithe produced show, and it's called The Chi. It premiered last night. It's all about the South Side of Chicago, and it seems pretty real. A lot of people liking it. What's your thoughts, Jahmal?
Lena Waithe, Common involved. I mean, the way Common has painted pictures verbally his whole career, I'm just excited about it. They show the disparities between different parts of the city, and it's very creative. I'm really excited. So.
You actually got to bring some of your kids to the premiere and meet some of the cast, including Common, correct?
Exactly. They gave us 20 tickets to bring teenagers from the south and west sides of the city, and so many teenagers haven't been exposed to those cameras, exposed to what a producer is. A lot of teenagers want to be rappers and basketball players, but they don't see what's behind the scenes. So kudos to Common and Lena Waithe for allowing our teenagers to get that exposure.
Awesome.
There's a little bit of a feel of his show too, what you're doing, your project in the show, correct?
For sure.
You noticed a little bit of a connection there.
Sure. I mean, even thinking of how Common talks about, in front of 3-inch glass, he orders fries. A lot of my teenagers in North Lawndale and Inglewood, they order their food every day through bulletproof glass windows. German Shepherds sniff them every day when they get on the train. Teenagers from the south and west sides of our city are not connected to the same extent as teenagers from the north side, and that's a problem. So Common has been highlighting these things his whole career, and I'm proud to see he partnered with Lena Waithe, who has so much heart and creativity to show the world what Chicago's really like.
Honestly, until you just said that, I didn't even realize that wasn't not normal.
Oh, people order food through bulletproof glass like it's regular.
Yeah.
German Shepherds sniff us like it's regular.
Yeah.
There's a liquor store in every corner like it's regular, right? Drones fly over our houses like it's regular. This is not regular, but people walk to school every day like it is.
I'm excited for this because I feel like we are seeing our neighborhoods and I'm seeing places that I grew up in, places that I frequented, and it's putting a humanizing spin on the stories that we read about on the news. It's giving it a character, a heart, a mother, a father, a son. It's giving, it's just humanizing it and bringing it home. And I'm hoping that it'll help people see some of the issues that are happening on the south side and the west sides of the city, and hopefully it'll help them see it in a different way and just see the human aspect of it all.
Well, speaking of that, do you feel like the South Side was portrayed accurately in the show?
Yeah, anytime you get Common and Lena Waithe together, they're gonna plagiarize life. I mean, you're gonna be walking down the street, you're gonna be able to smell what it's like to be on the red line when they get to work. Chicago's a beautiful place. We have our fair share of issues, poverty and crime, failing schools, but more importantly, I think people just don't feel connected to this city. They don't feel connected to the struggles, the hidden gems, or the positive things. So this show is going to highlight not only the negative, but also the positives.
You don't feel like people are connected to the city?
No, I think Chicago is one of the most segregated cities in the U.S. The distinction between the black, the white, and Hispanic communities is very visible, and that's created these diverging or separated community areas. Most people never travel further south than the White Sox Stadium,
right.
And most people will never go north either. And that's a problem because people stay isolated or they have an illusion of security. We need people to step outside their comfort zones and explore Chicago to make it a better place.
Connected to different parts of the city that they're not from.
Yeah, exactly. Like if you have this limited mindset where are you from? You say I'm from the south side, north side, I'm from no, I mean there's 77 communities, there's one Chicago. So what that means is that they say a chain is only as strong as the weakest link. Chicago is only as strong as the most under-resourced community area. That's how I feel. So.
I love that.
And in order to find the solutions to these issues, I feel like you spoke about it, interconnectivity and how important that is. Unless you're able to relate to why someone stole from the corner store or relate to why someone shot somebody that they knew on the block, unless you're able to relate to that and understand why they did it. Not saying that behavior is okay, but it's coming from somewhere. And unless you're able to understand that, then we can't treat it. And I feel like right now our city officials, we have a lot of them that want to treat it with more policing or with more crime or changing the laws or making stricter laws, and that doesn't treat the root of the problem. And this film can help, this series can help give some insight to that.
I agree 100%. You hit the nail on the head. It's just flat out true. I mean, you can throw technology at things, but until you get to the root causes, which is under-resourced schools, lack of employment, you're not really gonna come up with any real
Desperation.
Exactly. So.
Absolutely, no question. All right, well, changing gears just a little bit here. More about the Golden Globes from last night. It was a momentous night for many reasons. One of the great moments of the night when Sterling K. Brown from This Is Us won the award for Best Actor in a TV series for a drama, which was the first time an African American has won in that category. Here, he thanks his writer for his remarkable role. Take a listen.
But Dan Fogelman, you wrote a role for a black man, like that could only be played by a black man. And so what I appreciate so much about this thing is that I'm being seen for who I am and being appreciated for who I am. And it makes it that much more difficult to dismiss me or dismiss anybody who looks like me. So thank you, Dan. Thank you, Hollywood Foreign Press. Peace.
Powerful stuff. You know, Sterling K. Brown, it seems like he's becoming a voice in a lot of ways in Hollywood. And, you know, one of the things for award season for me as I watch this stuff is you see the holes and the problems that are going on in Hollywood that are a microcosm of what's going on in the world. You see the struggle with women and Time's Up and the movement that's going on. But you also hear about the black struggle where there's simply roles that are like, oh, let's throw a black guy in here and give him that role, where this one was designed for him, one of the biggest roles on the show, and he's become the star of the show, and he had to credit a writer for something that you would think is just taken for granted, but it's clearly not because of how everything's operated there.
I love that you say that because I think sometimes people consider entertainment frivolous. And the reason I love entertainment is because no matter how divided we are as a country, no matter where we're coming from, we're all connected to the same network of stories. And it really does represent a larger population and it represents the larger issues. It just highlights them. And so Sterling K. Brown was the first African American to win in that category. He was the only African American nominated in that category, and he won. And I got the chills when he gave that speech.
Pretty cool stuff.
It was powerful.
It was
powerful.
It was. And with King Day weekend coming up too, I think it's a great, just a great cherry on top. But I mean, Dr. King was all about life being interrelated, and it's good to see that we're having a conversation around interconnectivity.
Jahmal Cole, My Block, My Hood, My City. Thanks for joining us. Really appreciate it. We'll be following you. We'd love to have you back on the show soon.
Thanks for having me, man.